Have you ever said yes when every fiber of your being wanted to say no? Have you found yourself quietly setting aside your own needs, shrinking your voice, and fading into the background just to make someone else happy? It's a common story, a life lived in the shadow of being nice. Nice enough to avoid confrontation. Nice enough to meet every expectation. Nice enough to be liked by everyone, even if it means losing yourself in the process. But here's the truth. Being the nice girl comes at a cost. It costs your confidence, your energy, and, ultimately, your power. This isn't about abandoning kindness or rejecting compassion. Those are beautiful traits. But when being nice becomes an excuse to tolerate disrespect, silence your truth, or carry burdens that aren't yours to bear, it stops serving you and starts draining you. Today, we're going to flip the script. This isn't about becoming cold or uncaring. It's about reclaiming your voice, your boundaries, and your worth. Because when you stop being the nice girl and start being the woman who knows her value, you unlock a life that's bold, authentic, and unapologetically yours. By the end of this video, you'll have the clarity and tools to leave the nice girl act behind and step fully into your power. Let's begin. What does it mean to be the nice girl? It's not about kindness or compassion. Those are powerful and admirable traits. The nice girl mindset is something different. It's being overly accommodating to the point of self-sacrifice. It's placing others' needs above your own, not out of generosity, but because you feel obligated. It's avoiding conflict, silencing your voice, and doing everything in your power to keep the peace, even when it comes at a cost to yourself. This mindset isn't something you chose, it's something many are taught. From an early age, you're encouraged to smile, to be polite, to not speak out of turn, and to avoid making others uncomfortable. You're told that your worth is tied to your ability to nurture, to please, and to make life easier for those around you. Subtly or overtly, the message is clear. To be a good woman is to be nice, agreeable, and selfless. But there's a problem. When being nice becomes your defining characteristic, it comes at a price that far too many pay without even realizing it. The emotional toll. When you prioritize being agreeable over being authentic, you suppress your true feelings. You find yourself nodding along to things that don't sit right with you, staying silent when you have something important to say, and carrying burdens that aren't yours to bear. Over time, this suppression takes a toll. You feel invisible, unheard, and disconnected from yourself. Resentment builds, not just toward others, but toward yourself for letting it happen. Being the nice girl means putting on a mask every day, a mask that hides your real emotions, your real desires, and your real identity. And the longer you wear that mask, the harder it becomes to take it off. Career setbacks. In the workplace, being seen as the nice girl can hold you back. You may hesitate to advocate for yourself, fearing that it will make you seem demanding or ungrateful. You may avoid speaking up in meetings, worried about rocking the boat. And when opportunities arise, you might watch them pass by because you've been conditioned to wait for someone else to offer them to you instead of claiming them for yourself. This mindset sends a message to those around you that you're fine staying in the background, that you don't need recognition, and that you're content with less than what you deserve. But deep down, you know that's not true. Relationship struggles. In relationships, the nice girl mindset can be just as damaging. When you're always the one to compromise, always the one to give more than you receive, and always the one to keep the peace, it creates an imbalance. People begin to expect more and more from you, taking advantage of your generosity without offering the same in return. By trying so hard to avoid conflict, you may end up avoiding the hard conversations that could strengthen your relationships. Instead, You carry the weight of unresolved issues on your own, hoping they'll somehow disappear. But they don't. They grow heavier, leaving you feeling drained and unfulfilled. The bigger picture. At its core, the nice girl mindset is rooted in fear of rejection, fear of judgment, and fear of not being liked. But here's the truth. Being liked by everyone is neither possible nor necessary. What matters is being respected, valued, and true to yourself. The world doesn't need more nice girls. It needs strong, confident women who know their worth. It needs women who can say no without guilt, who can set boundaries without apology, and who can walk away from situations that don't honor their value. Letting go of the nice girl mindset isn't about becoming selfish or uncaring. It's about finding balance. It's about realizing that your needs, your voice, and your dreams are just as important as anyone else's. It's about understanding that kindness isn't about shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. It's about standing tall in your truth and inspiring others to do the same. The cost of being the nice girl is too high. It costs your peace, your confidence, and your power. But the good news is, you can stop paying that price. You can step into a new way of living, one that's bold, authentic, and unapologetically you. There's a crucial distinction that must be made. Kindness and people-pleasing are not the same thing. Kindness is a choice, a conscious decision to act with compassion and empathy. It comes from a place of abundance, where your actions reflect your values and integrity. People-pleasing, on the other hand, is rooted in fear, the fear of rejection, disapproval, or conflict. It's not a choice born of strength, but a reflex driven by insecurity. Kindness does not require you to sacrifice yourself. It does not demand that you set aside your needs, your voice, or your truth for the sake of others. True kindness comes from a place of self-respect and balance. It allows you to extend grace to others while also honoring your own boundaries. But when you cross the line into people-pleasing, kindness becomes distorted. It becomes about earning approval or avoiding discomfort, even if it means compromising your own well-being. This is not kindness. It's self-neglect masquerading as virtue. True strength lies in boundaries. Strength is often misunderstood. Many believe it's about being unyielding or always taking control, but true strength is something deeper. True strength lies in knowing who you are, what you need, and what you stand for, and then having the courage to live in alignment with that. Setting boundaries is an act of strength. It's not about shutting people out or being unkind. It's about drawing a line that protects your time, energy, and emotional well-being. When you set boundaries, you're saying, I respect myself enough to define what is acceptable in my life. Speaking your truth is another form of strength. It takes courage to express your thoughts, especially when they might challenge the status quo or make others uncomfortable. But when you share your truth, you're honoring yourself and encouraging others to do the same. True strength isn't about avoiding conflict. It's about facing it with grace and clarity. It's about choosing authenticity over approval and standing firm in your values, even when it's not easy. The empowered choice. Consider this scenario. Someone asks you to take on a task you don't have time or energy for. The nice girl mindset might prompt you to say yes, even as you feel resentment bubbling inside. You want to avoid disappointing them or creating tension, so you ignore your own needs. But an empowered woman approaches this differently. She recognizes her limitations and responds with honesty. I appreciate you asking, but I'm unable to take that on right now. This isn't rude or dismissive. It's clear, respectful, and authentic. Or imagine a situation where someone makes a comment that crosses a line. The nice girl might laugh it off to keep the peace, even though it feels wrong. But an empowered woman speaks up calmly. I'd prefer if we didn't joke about that. It doesn't sit well with me. By doing so, she asserts her boundaries and sets a standard for how she expects to be treated. A new standard. When you embrace this mindset, you redefine what it means to be both kind and strong. You no longer give out of obligation, but from a place of genuine desire. You no longer fear rejection because you know your worth isn't tied to others' opinions. Being an empowered woman means balancing compassion with self-respect. It means understanding that your kindness carries more weight when it's offered freely, not out of fear or obligation. This isn't about choosing between being kind and being strong. It's about understanding that the two can coexist. Together, they create a powerful force that allows you to live authentically, command respect, and inspire others to do the same. Breaking free from the nice girl mindset isn't a single moment of transformation. It's a series of deliberate steps. It's about unlearning the habits and beliefs that keep you stuck and replacing them with new, empowering behaviors. Here are 5 actionable steps to help you reclaim your voice, your confidence, and your life. 1. Set boundaries. Boundaries are not barriers. They are bridges that connect respect for yourself with respect for others. They define what is acceptable and what isn't, and they communicate that your time, energy, and well-being are valuable. Saying no can feel uncomfortable at first, but it's an essential part of setting boundaries. Remember, every time you say yes to something you don't want, you're saying no to something that matters to you. Start with a simple script. Thank you for thinking of me, but I'm unable to take that on right now. This response is clear, respectful, and firm. You don't need to explain yourself or justify your decision. A boundary isn't up for debate. It's a statement of your needs. Practice this regularly, and you'll notice how empowering it feels to protect your time and energy. 2. Stop apologizing for everything. How often do you apologize for things that don't require an apology? For speaking up, for asking a question, or even for existing in a space. This habit diminishes your voice and makes you appear smaller than you are. You don't need to apologize for taking up space or for asserting your needs. Instead of saying, "I'm sorry, but can I?" try saying, "I'd like to," or "Here's my perspective." Replace unnecessary apologies with expressions of confidence and clarity. Apologies should be reserved for when you've genuinely done something wrong, not as a default response to discomfort. By eliminating excessive apologies, you'll find yourself standing taller, both figuratively and literally. 3. Prioritize yourself. Self-care is not selfish. It's essential. You cannot show up fully for others if you are running on empty. Imagine trying to pour water from a cup that's already dry. It's impossible. Start by carving out just 10 minutes a day to do something you love. It could be as simple as enjoying a cup of tea in silence, reading a book, or going for a walk. This small but consistent act sends a powerful message. I matter. Over time, expand this practice. Schedule time for activities that energize and fulfill you. When you prioritize yourself, you set a standard for how others should treat you, and you inspire them to do the same. Practice. Assertiveness. Assertiveness is not about being aggressive. It's about expressing your thoughts, feelings, and needs with clarity and confidence. It's about speaking your truth without diminishing someone else's. To practice assertiveness, start using phrases like, "I disagree because here's what I need. I'm not comfortable with that." When you speak assertively, you honor your perspective while inviting others to do the same. Assertiveness strengthens relationships because it fosters honest, open communication. 5. Challenge the fear of disapproval. The fear of disapproval can be paralyzing, but it's important to remember this. Not everyone's opinion matters. You are not responsible for meeting everyone's expectations, and you cannot control how others perceive you. Instead of seeking approval, seek alignment with your values. Ask yourself, does this decision honor who I am and what I stand for? If the answer is yes, move forward confidently, regardless of what others might think. Remember this simple truth: you can't pour from an empty cup. When you prioritize your well-being and authenticity, you not only thrive, you also create a ripple effect that inspires others to do the same. You are not here to shrink yourself to fit the mold others have created. You are here to shine, to stand tall, and to own your truth. Every step you take toward honoring your needs, setting boundaries, and speaking your truth is a step toward reclaiming your power. The world doesn't need more nice girls. It needs women who know their worth, women who lead with strength, kindness, and authenticity. So, step boldly into your light and let the world see who you truly are. You are powerful, worthy, and unstoppable.